Hello and welcome everybody, this is TP Gaming coming to you with part 2 from Johannesburg. We have lots of action already behind us, but there's plenty more to come. I hope you guys will enjoy. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get back right into the action. So, actually, we have plenty of room and plenty of time here. Wow, what a difference. What a difference the day makes when you have a schedule with every 2 minutes. Fall asleep. Africa 110 heavy, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Africa 110 heavy.
Actually, we could go 2 times speed, eh, folks? Come on, let's go 2 times speed. We can always slow down.
Ground, Ethiopian 602 heavy, request taxi runway 21 right.
Ethiopian 602 heavy, runway 21 right at November.
Unable takeoff, runway is too short, Ethiopian 602 heavy.
Ethiopian 602 heavy, runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, Ethiopian 602 heavy.
India Victor Oscar, India Romeo 1, runway 21 left. Nope, you will have to wait.
Ground, Sensa 211 heavy, request pushback.
Because...
Tower, Prime 56 inbound, runway 21 right.
Sensa 8334, runway 21 left, clear to land. Wind is 107 at 14 knots.
Runway 21 left, cleared to land, Sensa 8334.
Sensei 211 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right, pushback approved, Sensa 211 heavy.
Malawi 222, taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel, Malawian 222.
Ethiopian 602 heavy, wind is 113 at 14 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff, Ethiopian 602 heavy.
Hello, Kamani. How
Ground,
are you
Rwanda Air
today?
713 request pushback.
Rwanda Air 713 pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right, pushback approved. Rwanda Air 713.
So we need to be careful. The first aircrafts are coming in on the other runway now.
Ground, Sensa 211 heavy, request taxi runway 21 right.
Sensor 211 heavy, runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, Sensa 211 heavy. Tower, Ethiopian 54 inbound, runway 21 right.
More aircrafts coming
Ground,
in now.
Rwanda Air 713 request taxi runway 21 right.
India Victor Oscar, India Romeo 1, runway 21 left, line up and wait.
Runway 21 left, line up and wait. India Victor Oscar, India Romeo 1.
Rwanda Air 713, runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, Rwanda Air 713.
Prime 56, runway 21 right, clear to land, wind is 129 at 16 knots.
Runway 21 right, cleared to land, Prime 56.
Ethiopian 602 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Ethiopian 602 heavy.
Ground, ProFlight Zambia 10 request pushback.
ProFlight Zambia 10 pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right, pushback approved. ProFlight Zambia 10.
Sensei 8334, taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo, Sensa 8334.
India Victor Oscar, India Romeo 1, wind is 130 at 17 knots, runway 21 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 left, cleared for takeoff. India Victor Oscar, India Romeo 1.
Freedom Eagle 607, runway 21 left, line up and wait.
Runway 21 left, line up and wait, Freedom Eagle 607.
Sensei 211 heavy, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait, Sensa 211 heavy.
Prime 56, taxi to terminal via Charlie.
Taxi to terminal via Charlie, Prime 56.
Ground, ProFlight Zambia 10 request taxi runway 21 right.
Tower, Malawian 768 inbound runway 21 right.
Ethiopian 5-4, runway 21 right, clear to land, wind is 130 at 17 knots.
Runway 21 right cleared to land, Ethiopian 5-4.
Freedom Eagle 607, wind is 130 at 17 knots, runway 21 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 left cleared for takeoff, Freedom Eagle 607. Ground, Senegal 417 request pushback.
Sensei 211 heavy, wind is 129 at 17 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Sensa 211 heavy.
Rwanda 713, runway 21 right, line up and wait behind next landing aircraft.
Runway 21 right line up and wait behind next landing aircraft, Rwanda Air 713.
India Victor Oscar, India Romeo 1, contact departure.
Contact departure, goodbye, India Victor Oscar India Romeo 1.
Pro Flight Zambia 10, runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, Pro Flight Zambia 10.
Ground, Springbok 823 heavy request pushback.
Springbok 823 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right at November.
Ground, 21 right at November pushback approved, Springbok 823 heavy.
Senegal 417, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, Senegal 417.
Freedom Eagle 607, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Freedom Eagle 607.
Problem with the arrivals from the top is that they will usually turn off here, which means there is an acute angle which they wouldn't normally do. They would actually have to go all the way down here to turn right, so instead they usually turn left here. However, the mod guy said he has fixed that issue, so this is going to be interesting to see. Sensei 211 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Sensa 211 heavy. Tower, Ethiopian 367 heavy inbound runway 21 right.
Now why did you go all the way down the back there? Why didn't you just turn right here? And now we have an issue. This is going to be interesting. Hope it's not going to come to our first deletion. Oh no, Ethiopian, you're not going to turn left here now, are you? No, you're not. Whew. Malawi 222, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Malawian 222.
Ground, Senegal 417 request taxi runway 21 right.
Which could come into a problem if Ethiopian Sensei 8334, hold short of taxiway Charlie.
Holding short taxiway Charlie, Sensa 8334.
We're getting more issues now just because of all this. Malawi 768, runway 21 right, clear to land, wind is 126 at 16 knots.
Runway 21 right cleared to land.
Oh
Malawian
yes, he
768.
does go all the way towards the end, so...
Ground, DAC Air 861 request pushback.
We're going to have a go around now, because Ethiopian is going to be too long to get off there.
Springbok 823 heavy request taxi runway 21 right.
Rwanda 713, runway 21 left via Charlie.
Runway 21 left by Charlie Echo, Rwanda Air 713.
That's not going to work. Okay. That is not going to work. What a terrible situation. Malawi 768, turn left heading 090.
Turn left heading 090, Malawian 768.
Rwanda 713, runway 21 right at hotel.
Runway 21 right at hotel, Rwanda Air 713.
Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be too short? Okay. Rwanda 713, runway 21 left. Rwanda 713, runway 21 left.
Unable taxi. Request detailed taxi instructions. Rwanda Air 713.
This is going to be an interesting one. Ethiopian 54, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha. Ethiopian 54.
Rwanda 713, runway 21 left via hotel.
Runway 21 left via hotel, Rwanda Air 713.
We'll get him around. Malawi, what are you doing? Turn left there? No, you're going straight ahead, so at least that is something. Malawi 768, turn left heading 020.
Turn left heading 020, Malawian 768.
Springbok 823 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Springbok 823 heavy. Ground, link 160 request pushback.
Link 160 pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, link 160.
Sensei 334, continue taxi.
Say again, Sensei 8334.
Sensei 334, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Sensei 8334.
DAC Air 861, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, DAC Air 861. Tower, Golf Hotel Tango 62 inbound runway 21 right.
Rwanda 713, runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, Rwanda Air 713.
Okay, I'll get him back. Ethiopian 367 heavy, runway 21 right, clear to land, wind is 126 at 12 knots.
Runway 21 right cleared to land, Ethiopian 367 heavy.
Malawi 768 and a final runway 21 left.
Enter final runway 21 left, Malawian 768.
Springboard 823 heavy, runway 21 right, line up and wait behind next landing aircraft.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait behind next landing aircraft, Springbok 823 heavy.
Sensor 8334, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Sensei 8334. Ground, link 160 request taxi runway 21 right.
Yep, we'll hold you there for a second. Unfortunately, we need to do that because Sensei is going
Ground,
right in front of you.
DAC Air 861 request taxi runway 21 right.
DAC Air 861, runway 21 right at November via Golf 11. DAC 861, runway 21 right at November via Golf 11. Gosh.
Ground, Côte d'Ivoire 723 request pushback.
DAC 861, runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, DAC Air 861.
Senegal 417, runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, Senegal 417.
Link 160, runway 21 right at November. It's starting to get
Runway
busy
21
here,
right
folks.
at November, link 160.
Getting busy. Changing everything just to one runway all of a sudden. Then this one go around and the other aircraft. Interesting. And certainly that these aircrafts take forever to get off the runway is certainly something to consider to
Tower, San Air 808 inbound runway 21 right.
open up runway 21 left again, because that is just ridiculous. This is just holding up the whole traffic here. We don't want that. Can't have go-arounds all evening. We're going to be here all day. Côte d'Ivoire 723 pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, Côte d'Ivoire 723.
Look at this one. Oh, Barter Airlines is coming in a little later on as well. A look at the giraffe here in the back. Springbok 823 heavy, wind is 118 at 8 knots. Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Springbok 823 heavy.
Golf Hotel Tango 62. Runway 21 right clear to land, wind is 117 at 8 knots.
Runway 21 right cleared to land, Golf Hotel Tango 62. Ground, Libair 8295 heavy request pushback.
Libair 8295 heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved. Libair 8295 heavy.
So as you guys can see here, we have the go around. We pushed them over to the left hand side here, but we have two more arrivals here on 21 right, and then we can get all these aircrafts out. A little busy at the moment, but we meant well. Ethiopian 367 heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, Ethiopian 367 heavy.
Need to get Rwanda Air up in the air because...
Ground, Côte d'Ivoire 72 request taxi runway 21 right.
Who? Côte d'Ivoire 723, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Côte d'Ivoire 723.
There's the arrival coming in. Golf Hotel Tango. That's Gadames Air. I think there's a call sign for them. Rwanda 713, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait. Rwanda Air 713.
Springbok 823 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Springbok 823 heavy.
Link 160. No, actually we'll just... How are we doing down there? His aircraft's here. Senegal 417, hold position.
Holding, Senegal 417.
Pretty sure.
Tower, Ethiopian 413 heavy inbound runway 21 left.
Now, do you want
Ground, Badr Air 714 request
This
pushback.
is interesting. He just ran into him. That's a good one, isn't it? Passion Air. I see you like to be passionate. Well, that's not necessary to be that passionate. That's a new one, eh?
Libair 8295 heavy request taxi runway 21 right.
Libair 8295 heavy, runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, Libair 8295 heavy.
Preferably don't hit anyone. So we have our two arrivals there, but there's plenty of distances left and right, so there shouldn't be any penalties for that. Rwanda Air 713, wind is 100 at 10 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Rwanda Air 713.
Zan Air 808, runway 21 right, cleared to land, wind is 99 at 11 knots.
Runway 21 right cleared to land, Zan Air 808.
Malawi 768, runway 21 left, cleared to land, wind is 98 at 11 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land, Malawian 768.
Really weird. ProFlight Zambia 10, runway 21 right, line up and wait behind next landing aircraft. Actually, I'm not going to give that command because that could lead into a penalty. Golf Hotel Tango 62, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha, Golf Hotel Tango 62.
So this next one here, the arrival of on the left hand side or to one right is Zan Air.
Ground, Optimus 601 request pushback.
And Zan Air, let's see if we can get them off there. Zana 808, take next available exit on right.
Take next available exit on right, Zan Air 808.
See if we're able to get him off hotel here. If he can turn right here, that would be wonderful. Rwanda 713, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Rwanda Air 713.
Optima 601, pushback approved, expect runway 21 left at Echo.
Ground, 21 left at Echo pushback approved, Optimus 601.
Barter Air 714, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, Bad Air 714.
Probably turns off November now. Let's see. Let's check him out.
Tower, Ethiopian 745 inbound runway 21 left.
Okay, at least he doesn't get off here. But he should get off there. So that would be good. Pro Flight Zambia 10, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait. Pro Flight Zambia 10.
Ethiopian 413 heavy, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 88 at 14 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land, Ethiopian 41 heavy.
So how are we doing? Are you getting off here? Yes, he is. Oh! Oh no, I made a mistake. Oh no! Can't, it's too late now. Oh well, we'll just have to do a little go around. Go down Alpha, Echo, Charlie.
Ground, Optimus 601 request taxi runway 21 left.
Optimus 601, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Optimus 601.
Golf Hotel Tango 62. Let's have a look and see if there's
Ground,
enough room.
Rwanda Air 8799er request pushback.
Should be. Looking good now. Rwanda 8799er, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right. Looks like the top
Ground,
is starting to get
21
busy.
right pushback approved, Rwanda Air 8799er.
Pro Flight Zambia 10, wind is 88 at 15 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff. Pro Flight Zambia 10.
Link 160, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, Link 160.
No damage.
Ground, Bad Air 714 request taxi runway 21
Looking
right.
nice and healthy. Look at this. Look at the Libyan behind you. He knows when to stop. Incredible. Zana 808 taxi to terminal via Alpha Echo Charlie.
Taxi to terminal via Alpha Echo Charlie, Zan Air 808.
Malawi 768 taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel, Malawian 768.
So we get everything organized to get everybody out of here. Optima 60 will run, runway 21 left, line up and wait.
Runway 21 left line up and wait, Optimus 601.
Link 160, wind is 88 at 15 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Link 160.
Dakar 861, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, DAC Air 861.
Pro Flight Zambia 10, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Pro Flight Zambia 10.
Ground, Rwanda Air 8799er request taxi runway 21 right.
Rwanda 8799er, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Rwanda Air 8799er.
Barter Air 714, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Bad Air 714.
Code to Ivory 723, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, Côte d'Ivoire 723.
Tower, Springbok 80 heavy inbound runway 21 left.
Optima 601, wind is 88 at 15 knots, runway 21 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 left cleared for takeoff, Optimus 601.
Ground, Springbok 747 heavy request pushback.
Dakar 861, wind is 88 at 15 knots, runway 21. Dakar 861, wind is 88 at 15 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff. Dakar 861, wind is Dakar 861, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, DAC Air 861.
Liba 8295 heavy, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, Lib Air 8295 heavy.
Ethiopian 413 heavy, taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo, Ethiopian 41 Tree Heavy.
Ethiopian 745, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 88 at 15 knots.
Runway 21 left, cleared to land. Ethiopian 745.
Link 160, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Link 160.
Trying to get this mess here organized. Springbok 747 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved. Springbok 747 heavy.
Zana 808, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Zan Air 808.
So, Optima 601, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Optima 601.
At the moment I had to, now I had time to read. I'm not sure if, well, obviously you've programmed it and therefore you would know whether it's possible or not. Libyan Air 82905, Libya 82905, heavy, wind is 904 at 13 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Lib Air 82905 heavy.
Senegal 417, continue taxi. Finally.
Continue taxi, Senegal 417.
Dakar 861, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, DAC Air 861.
Okay, things are starting to look a little bit better now. Okay.
Tower, Air Zambia 204 inbound runway 21 left.
Come on, get up. Oh, you guys can't see. I can. Look at that. He's not accelerating at all. Look at this. 115, 116, 18, 20. Maybe eventually I'm going to get to V1. Rotation. V2. Thank you very much. They're never going to arrive. Côte d'Ivoire 723. Wind is 905 at 12 knots. Runway 21 right. Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Côte d'Ivoire 723.
Rwanda 87999, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, Rwanda Air 87999.
See you later, Nason. Have a nice evening. Springbok 80 heavy, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 905 at 12 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land. Springbok 80 heavy.
Libya 82905 heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Lib Air 82905 heavy.
Ground, Ethiopian 44 heavy, request pushback.
Ethiopian 745, taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel, Ethiopian 745.
Rwanda 87999, wind is 905 at 11 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Rwanda Air 87999.
Badr Air 714, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, Badr Air 714.
Ground, Springbok 747 heavy, request taxi runway 21 right.
Côte d'Ivoire 723, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Côte d'Ivoire 723.
So, Senegal 417, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, Senegal 417.
Finally get you up in the air. Springbok 747 heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right at November.
Ground, 21 right at November, pushback approved.
Look.
Springbok 747 heavy.
Another huge one, Airbus 340. What happened here? Where did I get kicked out? Ethiopian 44 heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved. Ethiopian 44 heavy.
Senegal 417, wind is 905 at 9 knots. Runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Senegal 417.
Rwanda 8799er, contact departure.
Contact departure, goodbye, Rwanda Air 8799er.
So for you people that have
Tower, Precision Air 414 inbound runway 21 left.
joined a little late, we
Ground,
are here
Air Zimbabwe 60 request pushback.
in Johannesburg and doing a monster schedule of 153 movements. Wow. Malawi 768, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Malawian 768.
Ethiopian 413 heavy, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Ethiopian 413 heavy.
Actually, this Malawi looked quite nice. I just saw that in the corner of my eyes. Have a look and check out this livery here. Ooh, sorry. Oh, look at this. Checking out the runway crossings here. Springbok 80 heavy, taxi to terminal via Yankee Lima.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Lima, Springbok 80 heavy.
Senegal 417, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Senegal 417.
Zambia 204, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 905 at 8 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land, Air Zambia 204.
Badr Air 714, wind is 905 at 7 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Badr Air 714.
Ethiopian 413 heavy, hold position. Damn you!
Holding, Ethiopian 413 heavy.
That was probably too late now. No, it wasn't. I'll be able to get the this aircraft because this one wants to go behind this one here, this aircraft there. So they're going to hit each other.
Ethiopian 44 heavy, request taxi runway 21 right.
Or we're going to get them down here and then turn right, turn left there. So that should work all right.
Ground, Coastal Travel 238 request pushback.
Ethiopian 44 heavy, runway 21 right at 21. What am I saying? Ethiopian 44 heavy, runway 21 right at November via Foxtrot Hotel.
Runway 21 right at November via Foxtrot Hotel, Ethiopian 44 heavy.
There you go, we'll just get him ahead of that. Easy peasy. Springbok 747 heavy, wind is 101 at 6 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Springbok 747 heavy.
There we go. Starting to clear the airport now, a lot better. Get everything organized here. Coastal Travel 238, pushback approved, expect runway 21 left at Echo.
Ground, 21 left at Echo pushback approved, Coastal Travel 238.
Zimbabwe 60, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right. All the way
Ground,
in the back here.
21 right pushback approved,
There
Air
he is.
Zimbabwe 60.
All the way down there.
Tower, Fanjet 261 inbound runway 21 left.
Badr Air 714, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Badr Air 714.
Ethiopian 413 heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Ethiopian 413 heavy.
No, I think I just pressed something wrong there. Precision Air 414, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 108 at 7 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land, Precision Air 414.
Zambia 204, taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel, Air Zambia 204. Ground, Coastal Travel 238 request taxi runway 21 left.
That is a weird camera. I think this is the one. Yeah,
Ground,
I've got
Springbok 881 request pushback.
I've accidentally pressed that one. That's why. Coastal Travel 238, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Coastal Travel 238.
So have we cleared this area here? It looks that way.
Ground, Air Zimbabwe 60 request taxi runway 21 right.
That was the last one. Air Zimbabwe 60, runway 21 right at November via Alpha.
Runway 21 right at November via Alpha, Air Zimbabwe
Genix
60.
Gamer, hello, welcome. That is wonderful. I really enjoy that you have made it. Thank you very much. To everybody else, Genix Gamer has his own channel. He does tower as well, releases every now and then. And yeah, so check out his channel. Springbok 747 Heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Springbok 747 Heavy.
Ethiopian 44 Heavy, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait. Ethiopian 44 Heavy.
Ethiopian 745, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left. Ethiopian 745.
Springbok 80 Heavy, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left. Springbok 80 Heavy.
Springbok 881, pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right. Is he ready?
Ground,
Yes, he
21 right
is.
pushback approved. Springbok 881.
Yes, he is. Yeah, Genix Gamer is, yeah, he's not doing the heavy schedules for some reason. I don't know why. I think you can manage. You can go a lot higher than that. But you don't want to leave your comfort zone? Don't leave your comfort zone. But I enjoyed your session there at NEWARK. So thank you very much for that one. Ethiopian 44 Heavy, wind is 116 at 10 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff. Ethiopian 44 Heavy.
I was wondering about
Ground,
the
Sensor 430 request pushback.
Sensei 430 pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved. Sensor 430. Tower, Côte d'Ivoire 399er inbound runway 21 left.
Fanjet 261, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 116 at 11 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land. Fanjet 261.
I did the hour by hour. Oh, look at this. I hope he's not going to turn left here. No, he should turn right. If at all. If at all, do not turn left. No, he's going straight ahead. Okay. Yeah, he does an
Ground,
hour by
Springbok
hour
881 request taxi runway 21 right.
every now and then. And I did that in the beginning. When I first started, I did Munich. I was going to do hour by hour, but people just didn't want to see that. I don't know. But then again, they don't want to see me now either. So no, I'm just joking. But in the beginning, I don't know whether it may just get boring after a while. Springbok 881, runway 21 right at November via Alpha. But
Runway 21 right at November via Alpha. Springbok 881.
Genix Gamer does
Ground,
that.
Sensor 430 request taxi runway 21 right.
So if you're into that, check it out. Sensei 430 runway 21 right at November via Alpha.
Runway 21 right at November via Alpha. Sensor 430.
Ethiopian 44 Heavy, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon. Ethiopian 44 Heavy.
Precision Air 414, taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel. Precision Air 414.
Going all the way. Okay, we have, hopefully, we got another L coming
Ground.
in.
Bad Air 865 request pushback.
Ladder 865, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right. We can't,
Ground. 21 right pushback approved. Bad Air 865.
I don't know, hopefully we can get the coastal travel out of the way, but we have a L-sized aircraft coming in at the moment, and they are very slow. It takes them forever to get off the runway. There he is down there, and if he needs to go all the way down to the bottom, we have a medium-sized aircraft here. He's just going to follow up, so unfortunately coastal travel has to wait a little while. What a shame. Yeah, just I don't know, just test yourself.
Tower,
I mean,
Sky Aviation 957 inbound runway 21 left.
what can you lose? You've got the modifications, so therefore you're not going to lose a lot of penalties if you have accidents and whatnot. So who else is ready there? Somebody else, just a new aircraft coming in. And I would like to say a personal thank you. I did that in the comment section, but I thank you for the shout out in your video many moons ago. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. There's not going to be a second game today because we have a 3.5 hour session here today. Code to Ivory 3999, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 114 at 15 knots.
Runway 21 left, cleared to land, Côte d'Ivoire 3999.
Unfortunately, we didn't have any guests today.
Ground, Pro Flight Zambia 144 request pushback.
Pro Flight Zambia 144 pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, Pro Flight Zambia 144.
Ground, Bad Air 865 request taxi runway 21 right.
Bad Air 865 runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, Bad Air 865.
Zambia 204 cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Air Zambia 204.
Zimbabwe 60 runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait, Air Zimbabwe 60.
Fanjet 261 taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo. Fanjet.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo, Fanjet 261.
Which fan? Which soccer fan or rugby? Cricket? What fan? How are we supposed to know? Air Zimbabwe 60, wind is 106 at 13 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff, Air Zimbabwe 60.
Yeah, really appreciate it. One hand washes the other. Let's help each other.
Ground, Pro Flight Zambia 144 request taxi runway 21 right.
Sensor 430 runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait, Sensor 430.
Coastal Travel 238, runway 21 left, line up and wait. Finally!
Runway 21 left, line up and wait, Coastal Travel 238.
So, anybody up there? Getting ready?
Tower, Air Zimbabwe 547 heavy inbound runway 21 left.
Pro Flight Zambia 144, runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November, Pro Flight Zambia 144.
Aviation Taco 725, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Unable pushback, will advise when ready, Aviation Tarco 725.
I thought you just said
Ground, Aviation Tarco 725 request pushback.
It was obviously the arrival. Aviation Taco 725, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, Aviation Tarco 725.
Coastal Travel 238, wind is 99 at 11 knots, runway 21 left, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 left, cleared for takeoff, Coastal Travel 238.
Sky Aviation 9057, runway 21 left, cleared to land, wind is 99 at 11 knots.
Runway 21 left, cleared to land, Sky Aviation 957.
Code to Ivory 399, taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo, Côte d'Ivoire 399er.
Air Zimbabwe 60, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Air Zimbabwe 60.
Sensor 430, wind is 99 at 10 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff, Sensor 430.
Springbok 881, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait. Springbok 881.
Coastal Travel 238, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon, Coastal Travel 238.
So everybody is moving, and we got a few things on top of each other here, but we have plenty of time really to get this organized.
Ground, India Victor Yankee 2 request pushback.
India Victor Yankee 2 pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right at November.
Ground, 21 right at November pushback approved. India Victor Yankee 2.
Springbok 881, wind is 909 at 9 knots, runway 21 right cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff. Springbok 881.
Radar 865, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait. Bad Air 865.
Sensor 430, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon, Sensor 430. Ground, Aviation Tarco 725 request taxi runway 21 right.
I get mine here on flyterra.net. Check it out.
Tower,
I can't do
Springbok 101 heavy inbound runway 21
Not
left.
working. So flight ERA flyterra.net. You can grab them all from over there. Radar 865, runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, caution wake turbulence.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, caution wake turbulence. Bad Air 865.
ProFlight Zambia 144, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait. ProFlight Zambia 144.
Air Zimbabwe 547 heavy, runway 21 left clear to land, wind is 909 at 10 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land. Air Zimbabwe 547 heavy.
Ground, India Victor Yankee 2 request taxi runway 21 right.
India Victor Yankee 2, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, India Victor Yankee 2.
ProFlight Zambia 414, cross run, no.
Unable to comply.
No.
ProFlight Zambia 144.
Sorry. Precision Air 414, cross runway 03 left. Precision Air 414, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left. Precision Air 414.
Fanjet 261, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left. Fanjet 261.
Springbok 881, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon, Springbok 881.
Radar 865, contact departure.
Contact departure. Goodbye. Bad Air 865.
Ground, Springbok 401 request pushback.
Springbok 401, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved. Springbok 401.
Aviation Tarco 725, runway 21 right at November via Hotel Alpha.
Runway 21 right at November via Hotel Alpha, Aviation Tarco 725.
ProFlight Zambia 144, wind is 906 at 12 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff. ProFlight Zambia 144.
India Victor Yankee 2, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait. India Victor Yankee 2.
So how are we doing down here? Spread it out a little, why don't we? Hello, Zach Koch. How do you get the colors to change on the EDDS?
Ground, Springbok 401 request taxi runway 21 right.
That is a modification, and if you are a user of Tower 3D Pro, you may implement these for free. All you need to do...
Tower, Malawian 230 inbound runway 21 left.
All you need to do is watch...
Ground, Mongol Air 890 request pushback.
All you need to do is watch my video on 1,000 subscribers, and I show you in there on how to get this for free, how to get that implemented into your game, and yeah, it'll be good fun. You can see a lot of updates on your current game that you have at the moment. India Victor Yankee 2, wind is 86 at 14 knots, runway 21 right cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, India Victor Yankee 2.
PRO Flight Zambia 144, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, PRO Flight Zambia 144.
Aviation Targo 725, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, Aviation Targo 725.
Sky Aviation 957, taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel, Sky Aviation 957.
Air Zimbabwe 547 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo, Air Zimbabwe 547 Heavy.
I always create my own real schedules for myself. Everything, the whole lot, the whole shenanigans, as they say. Code to Ivory 399 across runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Côte d'Ivoire 399er.
Tedious job, but worthwhile. Springbok 101 Heavy, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 80 at 15 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land, Springbok 101 Heavy.
India Victor Yankee 2, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, India Victor Yankee 2.
You're very welcome, Zach. Aviation Targo 725, wind is 80 at 15 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Aviation Targo 725.
Springbok 401, runway 21 right at November via Alpha.
Runway 21 right at November via Alpha, Springbok 401. Ground, Mozambique 905 request pushback.
Mozambique 905, pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, Mozambique 905.
Mongol Air 890, pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right at November.
Ground, 21 right at November, pushback approved, Mongol Air 890.
Well, thank you very much for the thumbs up and the like there. Appreciate it. Just saw it switching over. Appreciate it. Good show. Glad you enjoy. Thank you for being on board, everybody, for Live at 5 once again.
Tower,
Yeah.
Air Kiribati 220 inbound runway 21 left.
This airport is a fun airport, especially if you have arrivals on 21 right. Great fun, because it really stuffs you up a lot. So no heavy schedules allowed on that. If you come down from the bottom, things are a lot easier, but the congestion down here is quite heavy. But of course you could, I mean, this is such a long runway, you can sort of line them up down here as well. How are we doing? Malawi 230, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 80 at 15 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land, Malawi in 230.
Aviation Targo 725, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Aviation Targo 725.
So we got
Ground,
everything
Mongol Air
organized again.
890, request taxi runway 21 right.
Mongol Air 890, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Mongol Air 890.
There's another
Ground,
commercial
Transgroup 722 request pushback.
coming in a little later.
Ground, Mozambique 905 request taxi runway 21 right.
Transgroup 722, pushback approved. Expect runway 21 right at November.
Ground, 21 right at November pushback approved, Transgroup 722.
Mozambique 905, runway 21 right at November via Alpha.
Runway 21 right at November via Alpha, Mozambique 905.
Mongol Air 890, wind is 85 at 13 knots, runway 21 right cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Mongol Air 890.
So I think we have entered the situation that we could go double speed again. How's that? Springbok 101 Heavy, taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo. We can do that.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Echo, Springbok 101 Heavy.
At least it will not be a 3.5-hour session then. We'll be taking off a little bit. Springbok 401, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait, Springbok 401. Ground, Transgroup 722 request taxi runway 21 right.
Transgroup 722, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Transgroup 722. Tower, Iraq Air 129er inbound runway 21 left. Ground, Springbok 50 request pushback.
Air Zimbabwe 547 Heavy, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Air Zimbabwe 547 Heavy.
Mongol Air 890, contact departure.
Contact departure. Good afternoon, Mongol Air 890.
Air Kiribati 220, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 904 at 11 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land, Air Kiribati 220.
Malawi 230, taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel, Malawian 230.
Springbok 401, wind is 904 at 10 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Springbok 401.
Transgroup 722, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait, Transgroup 722.
Springbok 50, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right at November.
Ground, 21 right at November pushback approved, Springbok 50. Ground, Commercial 63 request pushback.
Commercial 63, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, Commercial 63.
Kalula. Kalula.com. Transgroup 722, wind is 904 at 8 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Transgroup 722.
Mozambique 905, runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right, line up and wait, Mozambique 905.
Springbok 401, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Springbok 401.
Burak Air 129er, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 89 at 8 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land, Burak Air 129er.
Mozambique 905, wind is 87 at 8 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Mozambique 905.
Transgroup 722, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Transgroup 722.
Air Kiribati 220, taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel, Air Kiribati 220.
Springbok 101 Heavy. Oh, you gotta wait there a little while.
Ground, Rwanda Air 735 Heavy request pushback.
Rwanda Air 735 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, Rwanda Air 735 Heavy.
Mozambique 905, contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Mozambique 905. Ground, Commercial 63 request taxi runway 21 right.
Commercial 63, runway 21 right at November via Alpha.
Runway 21 right at November via Alpha, Commercial 63.
Then
Tower, Pro Flight Zambia 769 inbound runway 21 left.
now he can cross. Springbok 101 Heavy, cross runway 03 left.
Ground, Springbok 50 request taxi runway 21 right. Crossing runway 03 left, Springbok 101 Heavy.
Springbok 50, continue taxi.
Say again, Springbok 50.
Springbok 50, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Springbok 50.
Burak Air 129er, taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel.
Taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel, Burak Air 129er.
ProFlight Zambia 769er, runway 21 left, clear to land, wind is 83 at 12 knots.
Ground, Echo Zulu Alpha 260 request pushback.
Runway 21 left cleared to land. Pro Flight Zambia 769er.
Springbok 50, wind is 83 at 13 knots, runway 21 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Springbok 50.
Echo Zulu Alpha 260, pushback approved, expect runway 21 right.
Ground, 21 right pushback approved, Echo Zulu Alpha 260.
Is
Ground,
Niz
Rwanda Air
Airways.
735 Heavy request taxi runway 21 right.
Rwanda Air 735 Heavy runway 21 right at November via Hotel Alpha.
Runway 21 right at November via Hotel Alpha, Rwanda Air 735 Heavy. Ground, Mongol Air 405 Heavy request pushback.
Commercial 63 runway 21 right, line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, Commercial 63.
Malawi 230, cross runway 03 left.
Crossing runway 03 left, Malawian 230. Tower, ASCII Airline 262 inbound runway 21 left.
Ground, Echo Zulu Alpha 260 request taxi runway 21 right.
Tower, Mike Alpha India 566 inbound runway 21 left.
Echo Zulu Alpha 260 runway 21 right at November via Alpha.
Runway 21 right at November via Alpha Echo. Echo Zulu Alpha 260.
Echo Zulu Alpha 260 runway 21 right at November.
Runway 21 right at November. Echo Zulu Alpha 260.
Nuts. Springbok 50 contact departure.
Contact departure, good afternoon, Springbok 50.
Mike Alpha India 566 runway 21 left clear to land. Wind is 80 at 13 knots.
Runway 21 left cleared to land. Mike Alpha India 566.
Commercial 63 wind is 79 at 13 knots. Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff.
Runway 21 right cleared for takeoff, Commercial 63.
Rwanda 735 heavy runway 21 right line up and wait.
Runway 21 right line up and wait, Rwanda Air 735 Heavy. Ground, Linktree 716 request pushback.
ProFlight Zambia 769er taxi to terminal via Yankee Hotel. Alrighty guys, this will conclude the second part. There will be a third part with lots and lots more action, and I hope to see you guys on that video as well, coming soon to you. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care everybody. Bye bye.